Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Sahara Omar. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist practicing here in the state of Texas. And today's video, I wanted to show you guys what is brain restructure or restructuring means. This is a concept that we see a lot at the cultural level. And I see it a lot as well in the therapy space. And also, this is a diagram I personally like to show to my clients just to see who is in control in your brain and how your brain is structured. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the healthy brain structure and then kind of challenge you guys to reflect on how is your brain structured as well too, and extend some grace and compassion towards yourself, because not everybody is blessed to go through this process in a healthy way up front when we're born into our families of origins. So sometimes when we are adult, we have to pause and ask ourselves, okay, this was not given to me. How do I make sure that I get it now as an adult as well in a healthy way? Alrighty, so when we think of brain restructuring or brain structure in general, all of us go through developmental stages. Initially, when we are young, from 0 to 10, we need our parents mostly to love on us, guide us, show us the path with gentleness and care. Majority of people, unfortunately, in this world, they do not have that level of blessing, whether it's family dynamic issues or any addiction issues or anything like that. So if we come from chaos from 0 to 10, typically our younger self is driving, okay? So the brain itself, we do want to understand there is a younger self, which is just you from the past, especially you when you were a kiddo. And then there is your adult self, the one that is more responsible, caring and very clear and a little bit more calmer and very reasonable to negotiate with as well. And then we have God who sits in the back seat as well too for us, right? That's that voice of wisdom. And I wanted to break each one down just so you can see for your brain who is driving, and then I'll go back and see how we develop as humans as well, okay? So when our younger self is driving, so we're going to assume this is the front of the brain and this is the back of the brain, okay? When the younger self is driving, there is two examples that I usually give to my clients. Either we're going to be stuck in complaining language of, why do I have to go to the gym yesterday? Or why does it have to be this way? Or I hate when it's so hard. If you ever hear yourself speaking in that tone, typically that's your younger self complaining, okay? And also the younger self can sometimes be procrastinating, like waiting until last minute to get things done. The younger self can be also very impulsive. It likes to take the easy way out in life, right? Not understanding the power of discipline and creating a routine and structure. Sometimes if you ever find yourself like eating a full bag of chips in one sitting, that's your younger self that was engaging. Spending money that you do not have. Doing things that are very impulsive, like YOLO, I'm bored, let's go. That's the younger self. So either a lot of complaining language of why do I have to do it, all the way to very impulse issues and even like procrastinating and waiting until last minute to get things done. That's the younger self. The adult self, on the other hand, is very reliable. They mean what they say. They're very steady as well to the adult self. You can easily rationalize with the adult self. Like the adult self would say, I'll be there at 6 o'clock, and they actually show up at 6 o'clock. It's very consistent as well too with the adult self, very calm, well-mannered. Our adult self is when we get things done, right? Like if you ever find yourself like flip-flopping between your younger self where you procrastinate and you wait last minute and then you flip into your adult self, that's what the adult self looks like, right? Like it's very steady, calm, reliable, say what you mean what you say. There is no fear associated with the adult self, okay? And then with the voice of God, and I do want to be very specific and clear, the only one true God that we all need to submit to is Jesus Christ. A lot of people grew up in households where they are serving other gods. Other gods do not provide the peace that we're seeking. They provide pseudo peace where it looks like very peaceful, but we continue to experience that emptiness. But nevertheless, we are made in His image, in Jesus. And when we accept Him in our life, He becomes that voice of wisdom that tells you, don't go into this dark alley. There's something wrong here. Don't eat this food. It has mold in it. Don't say that. You need to apologize, right? So that strong voice of knowing. Sometimes psychology, we call him intuition or instinct, that gut feeling that you get, that's God speaking to you. And usually when we experience trauma, we shut him down. We kind of push him out of our brain altogether. Part of our healing journey and learning how to restructure our brain is to learn how to tap back into him and form that new relationship with him and submit your life over to him, okay? Now, if we had a healthy parents, what happens is we have our younger self, and eventually we grow into our adult self. And the goal is to not kick the younger self out. That's the version of us that likes to experience fun activities. It's just, it cannot drive the car. The younger self needs to be sitting in the passenger seat. I like to give this analogy to my clients of, think of the brain as like a car. The question is always, who's driving? Either the adult self is driving, the younger self is driving, right? When we want the younger self to still be in the car, because that's just you, we don't want to evict her out of the car, but she has to sit in the passenger seat and not fight with you, he or she. And the adult self is the one that needs to be driving, and the adult self is the one that needs to tap into God to know our purpose and where we're headed and what we're doing. So God is your GPS, essentially, okay? So if we had healthy parents, that's how our brain is going to structure. When we don't have healthy parents, what happens is the younger self experiences trauma and he or she will drive the car. Most adults who experience a lot of traumas do not have the adult self, or if they do have the adult self is sitting in the back seat. If you grew up in a household where there was no God, there's no God in the background as well too. So the structure of the brain is different. I met clients that would say the younger self is not in the car at all. They're very stoic and strong, and they don't know how to have fun. I met people who the younger self is driving and no adult is in the car. There's no voice of wisdom of God. There's no adult. And I met people who don't have any God at all, but they do have adult self and a younger self, but the younger self and them are constantly fighting with each other, okay? So it does take time, and being aware how the brain functions, then you can challenge yourself to be a little bit more structured towards where the adult self is driving. So what I teach my clients is the goal is to not dismiss your younger self, and the goal is to not shut your younger self down. When we say things like practice affirmation, right, like speaking gently towards yourself and being kind to yourself, that is you, the adult self, choosing to become the parent that your younger self never had, okay? Which means you do want to spend time to speak to yourself in a loving, gentle way, care towards yourself, don't talk bad towards yourself. A lot of times people will say, like, I have this negative voice of nobody cares about you and you are not going to do anything well. That's not God, by the way. That there's a spirit that's sitting in the background. That voice is not going to go away unless you accept Christ into your life as well. And sometimes some of my clients will push back if they are not people of faith, and they will say, well, could there be another way that I can evict this voice? I don't think so. There is no other way that I personally know. Sometimes that critical, hypercritical, that voice that picks you apart is one of your parents that was speaking mean or ill towards you. So connecting the dot to where it comes from is very important. But also, even when clients make that connection, it still does not give them the power to get rid of that voice. And like I said, that voice is not going to go away unless you submit to Christ. Okay? So that's the structure of our brain. The question I'm going to leave with you guys is, who's driving your car? Is it your adult self? Is it your younger self? Or is even God in the picture in your brain? Alrighty? I hope you guys liked the video. Feel free to hit that thumbs up. Also, feel free to leave me a comment and share this video with others. It really helps. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.